everyone, and welcome back to Wawa's Angels Nursery. Today truly is a very special episode, you guys. So this video might go a little bit long, but I really had this on my heart to talk about. God has been urging me to speak on this for a while, and so here I am. I don't have any notes or anything. I'm literally just going to open up my soul and speak to you, who's ever watching. We'll also touch on doll stuff. In fact, today I am holding my my sweet Chantal. Look at her, you guys. Isn't she adorable? Look at the freaking face. Look at her freaking face. So Chantal's going to be sitting with me today. She's very curious child, but she's going to be sitting here with me today as I talk to you guys, and I really hope that this message can help even one person. That would totally make my day. But it's just I gotta speak on this. Okay, so all right, guys, one more quick update, and then I'm going to get started on our topic today. Okay, for those of you who are watching along my Mounjaro journey, I am now since May 19th. Today I think is June 4th. I am down 20 pounds, and I'm very excited about that. I've been really trying to eat clean and avoid processed stuff, and just take care of myself, give myself the love that I deserve and that all of you deserve. So with that, that's it. Other than my normal, I've got lots of babies for sale. Check out my nursery. Other than that, let's get started. So you guys might be wondering, what is the topic? Well, you might know just simply by looking at the title of this video. Have you lost your way? I have brought my special mug. This one is a unicorn. It says "Don't stop believing," but really I look at this mug as very fitting in this video, because I think a big part of my message is to don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. So with that, let's take a little sip of our coffee, soda, water, juice, I don't know, kombucha, whatever you drink. Let's do it. Excuse me, get your drink. We got a lot to talk about. Your throat's gonna get dry. Hold on. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Okay. Oh, girlfriend. So, Chantal's gonna be a bit of a screen hog, but that's okay, because she loves to be on camera. And she absolutely is adorable. Come on, look at this little baby. He's cute. Oh, you want to see the rest? Okay. Meow. This is my signature show you my baby pose. That's her. Meow. There we go. Her little feetsies and stuff. Isn't she adorable, you guys? Chantal. She's adorable. Okay. Begin. Let's be serious for a minute. So, as you guys know, I am a huge believer in God, in Jesus Christ, of everything that He has done for us, continues to do for us, and I do all of this for Him. It is for His glory, His kingdom, and I am excited to walk with Him, to know God. There's no words. So sometimes God will tell me, hey, this needs to get work done in your life. We all have those feelings. Some people call it intuition, gut feeling. I call it God. And there's certain times in our life that we start to wonder, what is the point? Like, why am I struggling? Why is this discouraging? I thought, I was doing everything right, and I've done all the things that I was supposed to do. I've put my heart and soul into everything, and everything's falling apart, or nothing's happening at all. And that's a very frustrating spot to be in. Because, in this world today, we want to see results, right? Like, everything's fast-paced. And, that is actually pretty harmful, because it doesn't really work like that in our real lives, does it? There are certain times that something will happen that shakes us to our core and turns our world upside down, or maybe the struggle isn't that something happened, but that nothing's happening, and we expected something to happen as a result of our thoughts, actions, prayers, whatever it may be, and we're sitting waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's very easy to be consumed by that and to give up, or to second guess yourself, or to doubt what God has put on your heart. That can happen too. There's a lot of times that I do something because I feel like God's telling me to do it, or it's that push, like, I gotta do this. Like this nursery, Wawa's Angels Nursery was completely not my idea. Like, it came from God, 100%, because I was not even into dolls. For the longest time, I quit playing with dolls before the Reborns. I was like 14 or 15, y'all. Like, I'm in my early 40s now. Mid 40s? No, technically early 40s. Anyway, doesn't matter. Until this really started happening, and it was just on a whim. I started this nursery. And yeah, there is times that I start to question, like, should I be doing this? Because maybe babies aren't selling as fast as I had hoped, and I get discouraged, I'll keep making babies and they'll just sit there, and I lower the prices and they just sit there, and that's discouraging, because then I start to question God, and I start to say, you're the one that told me to do this. Like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? Just make it happen, because the whole point of my nursery is to make people happy. I just want to spread love, and I know that a lot of people struggle with finances and can't afford, some of the more higher end Reborns, and I try to make my prices as low as possible to make sure that I give as many people as possible the chance to have a Reborn, because they've done so much for me. They're amazing, they're beautiful, they're incredible to hold and snuggle. Like, look at this, look at this face, you guys. Like, you could have the worst day, right? And you come home and it's like, you just grab one of your babies, and it doesn't matter what kind of baby it is. It could be any kind of baby. It doesn't matter. You just grab your baby and you go, you go, Mommy, what are you doing? Anyway, so I think it's important for us to remember the things that do make us happy, that also are good for us, and to not get so caught up in expectations, because expectations, or comparison, comparing your life with someone else, it doesn't apply. You're a beautiful, unique individual. There is nobody like you. There will never be anybody like you. You are this immortal soul of pure energy, pure love, and you are so valuable. it's like we're all part of this beautiful, colorful tapestry, and each of us is a thread that is woven together in our own unique color, our own unique vibration. And so what happens when one of those threads becomes frazzled or loose or falls out? What happens? Like, the whole tapestry is now missing its color. It's missing its, piece. It'll never be the same. So that's why each of us is so unique and valuable, because we are all part of that divine spark of God, and we all have our own song, our own color, our own beauty, our own gifts, talents, skills. And, it's very easy to get caught up in, well, okay, I'm good at, I don't know, golf. I'm good at golf, so, why aren't I successful? I really love golf. Maybe it's not about success. Maybe it's about the passion. You know what I mean? Like, if we start getting caught up in creating or making things or, trying things just because we want to be successful, there's a good chance it might not work out for us because it's not our real passion, right? Like, in life, you have to allow your passion to drive you, because your passion is part of your mission, right? So when you come into this life, you have a mission. You come in with goals and plans, and it's very easy to second guess what we feel in our souls. It's very easy because, right, we want to see everything. We want to touch it. We want to feel it. We want to be reassured and know that we're doing everything right, And that doesn't always happen in life. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes we'll get little signs and little confirmations, and we'll be like, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm doing good. But it doesn't always happen. So what do you do when you've lost your way? What do you do? Well, you have options. You can start to worry, start to be afraid, second guess yourself, devalue yourself, all these things that can happen, right? But you also have the option to believe, to trust. That is what faith is. It is trusting when you do not see, but you know. Do we know in our brain? Maybe. But mostly we know in our soul. And our soul is connected. It's connected to God. And it is amazing when we allow that connection to grow. And there's so many things, guys. I have so many testimonies that I can share. There's just no doubt in my mind that God is there. He's always been there. He's always going to be there. For those of you who saw my grapevines reel with the shape of the cross, something like that, like, how does that even happen? It formed on its own, things like that you just cannot deny. And so you must be asking now, okay, well, how do I hear God? How do I know, what I'm supposed to do? Well, the first thing is go with your passion. Your passion is love. God is love. So if you follow your passions, and you do them with love, okay, then you are doing God's will. Because God wants us to love, and He wants us to spread hope, spread truth. There's so much deception in this world and distractions, right? There's so many distractions. I'm so guilty of that, guys. It is so hard sometimes to even know what are you passionate about. And, that's kind of where I'm at, because, like, with making these babies, I'm like, I do it because I love it. I love to do it. Like, I have the passion and I want to spread love. I'm not a rich person, so I do have to charge, something for it, but, no matter what happens, with sales or no sales or whatever, it doesn't matter because I'm doing it for love. And I don't regret it at all, and I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep doing this until God puts it on my heart to stop. And I don't think He'll ever do that because I see too much potential, good, potential, to spread that love and that truth, through my babies and through YouTube, and just that's what I want to do. That is my passion in this life. That is my mission in this life. And I'm going to accomplish it by whatever means necessary, whatever means God, allows. And, sometimes it's hard because that road is hard. Because, when we are trying to plan and trying to strategize and set things up, it doesn't apply unless it's God's plan. You know what I mean? If it's God's plan, everything will happen as it is supposed to, If it's our plan, sometimes things fall apart. Sometimes they work, it depends. But we have to trust. Like, if we really believe in something that we're doing, and we're not seeing results, and we're not seeing, like, the fruit, doesn't mean give up. Here's the thing, like, many times, we will, okay, so we have a plant. We will water it. We will put it in the sun. We'll sing to it, whatever. We'll take the best care we can of our plant, and it still won't grow. And we're like, what the heck is going on? And sometimes people will get discouraged and just yank the thing out of the ground, right? But those who wait will understand eventually that during this time of waiting, those roots are growing. Our roots are strength and patience and resilience and faith. All those things are growing in us even through the hardest times, especially during the hardest times, right? So it's so important to not give up. If you're not seeing the results you want with something in your life, it doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean it's not working. Now, if God puts on your heart, if you have a feeling that you should not do something or say something, by all means, do not do it. Okay? If He's warning you, don't do it, even if it makes perfect sense to you. Because sometimes in God's kingdom, things seem like, whoa, are you sure? That sounds impossible. But here's the thing, God can do the impossible. He loves doing the impossible. So don't ever underestimate Him. But yeah, so guys, I feel so much in this world that people are struggling, and they're using distractions to not have to feel the feelings they're having, and I understand that. I have used food to do that, and it has led me down a bad path and affected my health and really every area of my life. And I realized that I was using food to distract myself, and that's the thing about distraction. It distracts you from your mission. It distracts you from your passion. Every one of us is on a journey in this life. And, we don't know what's coming. We're not, we don't know everything. All we have is now. We can reflect on our past and learn lessons and everything, but truly all we have is now. And that's all that's promised to us. So we have to take those opportunities to get out there, to spread love, and love yourself. So many of us forget that. I'm guilty of it. you must love yourself first before you can love others. You know, you have to be okay in your own self, you know, full of love before you can give love to others appropriately, because some of us will just keep giving and not take care of ourselves, and that's not good either. That's not good. Okay, guys. Like I said, we are all valuable, beautiful human beings inside and out, and we all deserve happiness, and we all deserve good things, and the world sometimes tells us that we don't, that we're not good enough, that we're not, you know, worthy of what we want in this life or what we deserve, and that's a lie. We all deserve it, you guys. We all want the same things, right? We all want to love and be loved, so let's do that. Like, let's love and be loved. Because I really think that in those moments, when we are at the crossroads, when we're going through a struggle or we feel lost, there's going to be that temptation to get discouraged and get upset and sad. And it's normal. That's a human emotion. You know, it's a very normal thing, normal reaction. But sometimes what is required of us is a little bit more patience, a little bit more trust, faith. So recently, guys, I went kayaking. I'll show pictures at the end. So I went kayaking, and I'm going to be honest, because I'm out of shape, it was difficult physically. There were parts of the river. I was at the Wawa River over here in Florida, and there were times when I was going against the current, depending which way on the river you're going, right? And it was in those moments that it started to become a real struggle. My arms were hurting, my back was hurting. I couldn't keep up with my friend. My best friend was with me, and she was a lot faster, and I felt like I was failing, and I saw other people passing me by. I crashed into the reeds. Like, there's alligators there, y'all. Bears, everything. And I crashed into the reeds, and I backed up, and there were spiders, and, you know, I got back on, and I was trying to get out of people's way, and, you know, just, I don't know. It was comical, but it was also frustrating, because I said to myself, here I am out here trying to be out in nature and get good exercise and just have peace, and look at, I can't even, row the damn thing. I was sweating, I was hungry, I was tired, I was just like over it, right? But something in me said, keep going. Do you have that voice that says, keep going? I hear it all the time. Keep going. And so I did. And I kept, rowing faster and faster and faster and faster. And I was like, okay, literally my arm's about to give out. Like, I don't know if, well, you guys don't know this, but in 2019, I broke my right arm so horrifically that I had to have an army trauma surgeon fix my arm, you guys, because it was so shattered, it was so violently crushed that I'll have to tell you guys that story another time. But I remember after all was said, I have like metal and all kinds of things in my arm, and anyway, they were able to fix it, but it was a long journey. It was very painful, a lot of recovery, a lot of rehab. And I can remember I had prescriptions, and I had the little orange bottles lined up on the counter, and I remember taking my right arm and trying to move them. I couldn't move them. couldn't move them even an inch. I had zero strength. Zero. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I could not even move the damn pill bottles. So I was like, this is bad. This is really bad. Anyway, that's another story. But, so I was pushing hard. And the fact that I could even row that boat is a miracle. And, you know, I was so busy getting caught up in, why can't I go faster? Why can't this be easier? You know, this hurts. This is draining me. This is all, you know, all these things. You know, why? And I couldn't catch up. I fell further and further behind, and I started to get nervous because I'm like, if I can't catch up, I'm just gonna float down this river and just, who knows where I'll end up. I mean, this is in the middle of a big reserve. Like, there's nothing but forests and this river. So you have to stay on the river. Like, you have to keep going, or you're just gonna go into Timbuktu, I don't know, to wherever the river goes. And anyway, I got to a point where I was getting scared, and, you know, I can't do this. And yeah, the fact that I could even push those oars at all with my right arm is a straight miracle. And I had forgotten that. And all of the, you know, worry and fear and struggle, I had forgotten that miracle of my right arm. And, you know, it was in that moment that I just decided, I'm not going to row anymore. I'm just going to be. And you know what, guys? I let myself go down the river, just floating. And you know what happened? When all of that tension and fear and worry and anxiety was let go, I could hear the forest. I heard the birds. I heard things in the woods. You know, I could see fish jumping in the water. And when I leaned over the boat, I could see them in the water. I saw turtles. Like, all these amazing things that I was missing because I was so concerned about keeping up. And I looked up at the sky and I saw the sun shining down, and these wispy, long, far-fetched clouds, the really, really thin, whispery, feathery ones. And I just focused on them for a minute. I just said, thank you, God. Because I finally got the answer that I was waiting for. What's the answer? Be still. Be still. And know that I am God. That's what God's telling you. Be still. And you know, guys, when I was floating backwards, and again, I thought, this isn't right. I can't go backwards. This isn't going to work. But it was in those moments that I felt free. I felt finally like, I could take a breath, you know? I could see again. I could hear again. And I heard God say to me, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Loud and clear. So I floated down that river and I took in every moment, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I felt so connected with God and with nature and with myself that I had completely forgotten, been distracted of, you know, it was in that moment I understood that if you are lost, and they tell you this, even if you're lost, like, for real, in the wilderness, like if you're hiking or whatever and you get lost, what do they tell you? They say, stay where you are. Don't continue. Please don't continue. Like, stay where you are. Be still. Right? Be still. You know, in the spirit realm, it's often referred, the wilderness is often referred to as these times of where we feel blind and we don't know what we're doing, we don't know where we're going, and we feel scared, and we're looking around and we're seeing, what if this and what if this and what if that, right? It's so easy to do that. I do it all the time. But we have to train ourselves, guys. And we have to know the truth. God has you. He has a plan. He's right there with you. And you don't have to be afraid. Do not be afraid is in the Bible. That phrase is in the Bible. 365 times, you guys. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. He tells us this all the time. And it's really hard to listen. It's really hard. I know. Believe me. I know. I'm very guilty of that. But I'm trying to teach myself to understand that sometimes there are no answers. There are no clear directions. And it's those times you just have to walk out on the water. Walk out in faith. You know what I mean? Take that first step, because God has you. He truly does. He truly does. And when I was on the kayak the other day and I just let myself float, I had the most amazing experience I've ever had in nature. And I wouldn't have had it had I kept in that mindset that I was in right before, minutes before. I would never have been able to experience that. So sometimes there are no answers. Why aren't there answers? You're like, why? Because you're not ready for them yet, right? A lot of times we want to have everything planned and everything set before us. And here's the thing, guys. We're basically in Earth school and can't get all the answers. It doesn't work like that. You have to work through it. You have to learn through it, grow through it, love through it. That's a surefire way to know that you're doing good, guys, is to love. It's simple. A simple act of kindness, a word, anything, a compliment, like anything. And just especially those people who have hurt us, caused us harm. It's hard to love them, right? And sometimes you just pray for them. Pray that they are, that they heal in their own wounds so that they won't hurt others anymore, And, it's just love. That's really what this is about. And so, by the time I was done with kayaking, I was ready to swim, guys. And there was a swimming hole right on the other side of the bridge where we were. So we went in the swimming hole. And it happened again. Like, I didn't learn my lesson. So I'm in the swimming hole. Now, this is a natural spring. It's not like a pool or, there's rocks. There's caves, underwater caves underneath where you're swimming. Like, it's legit. Like, so there's no, set depth. When I got into the water, it was very cold because it's about 70 degrees. The water itself, pretty much year round. It gets a little cooler in the winter. Let me get a little drink first, guys. Thank you, baby. So I'll switch to this side. Shake things up. So anyway, so I go in the swimming hole and there's a guy there, and he was very afraid, and he said, what do you think, this is about 5 or 6 feet deep, you think? And I said, I don't know, I've never been. And he's like, I'm too scared. And he gets up and he leaves. So I stepped down, and the water's freezing. But it was like 90-something degrees out, so I was hot, and I was tired from kayaking, and I just wanted to relax. Guys, I just wanted to just be in the nice water. Not trying to, push myself. So I get in the water, and I immediately drop underwater. Okay? Immediately drop underwater. And I'm like, oh, geez, there's nothing to, hold on to here. This is deep water. And so I'm moving along, treading the water, waiting for it to get more shallow. And I'm like, okay, is this the whole, I can't keep swimming like this in place, I'm going to get tired. And I started to get nervous. I'm like, I don't want to drown. And it was so unpredictable because there were rocks there, all kinds of fish, you could see all this stuff. They did not have gators in this section, so don't get scared. But I was like, this is not fun. I wanted to be relaxed in here. I just want to be, I'm trying to do this whole chill thing and have faith. So God says, take a deep breath. And I did. And then he said, let go. I let go. I stopped swimming. And my entire body floated to the top of the water. And my head went back. And I saw the sky. And the water went in my ears. So I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear all the people because it was crowded. I didn't hear all the, music and the craziness going on. It was just me and God. And I floated there on my back for a while. Just completely immersed in the sunlight and God's love. And guys, sometimes you just have to let go and let God. You know what I mean? Take a breath and let go and let God. Right there. There you go. That's the whole answer. What do you do when you've lost your way? Well, you let go and you let God. God knows what you need. He has every ability care of you, and he does, and he loves you unconditionally beyond human comprehension. There's just no words. I mean, he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross so that we could go to heaven. Jesus was tormented in his life. I mean, he knew the whole time why he was here, but in the Garden of Gethsemane, I can't pronounce it, he actually cried blood because he was so afraid, because he knew what was happening the next day when he was going to get crucified on the cross. He knew, and even though he knew that it was for our salvation, in his pain and human fear, he actually asked God to change things. He said, Father, take this cup from me. He begged him. That means, God, change this, right? Change this. Take this pain away. Take this fear, the anxiety. Take it away, right? God said no. He said no. And Jesus even knew why he was doing what he was doing. So we as humans, we don't know any of that. We don't know any of that, right? So when we get scared and all that, we're having the same human emotions that Jesus did. But we don't have, the knowledge ahead of time like he did. So don't be hard on yourself if you're fearful or anxious or discouraged or angry and all that. Don't be hard on yourself about those feelings, because that's part of being a human. And God sent his Holy Spirit to be with us so that we can lean on him and trust him and talk with him. And, don't be afraid to ask God for signs, confirmations from whatever source will speak to you to know that you're doing the right thing. He will. He absolutely will. But you have to let him do it. Sometimes in life you just need to let go of that control, that that white knuckling, I gotta do this. It's no, you don't. Let me tell you guys, when you move on after this life, there will be one question asked of you. What have you done for your fellow man? That's it. What have you done for your fellow man? Because love is all that matters. Truly. Truly. And we follow Jesus' example. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And it is through him that we have this beautiful access to God, this relationship with him. And Jesus, like, if we just be still, we can hear him, we can feel him, we can have that peace and reassurance that transcends human understanding. You know, I'm gonna end this video with one more analogy that I feel is appropriate. So, sometimes in life, we feel like everything's falling apart, everything's being destroyed, like a forest fire. So we know forest fires are very destructive. You know, they destroy a lot of things. And, you know, on the outside, we're looking at it like, oh, this is horrible. Like, how can anything good come from this? This is terrible. I don't want to look. God, please stop this. Stop this. Please help me, help me. Why does God allow the forest to burn? Why does he allow these things in your life? Gold is tested in fire, you guys. That fire teaches us the most beautiful gifts of faith and love and trust and patience and perseverance, determination. It teaches us. We can't learn those things when everything's going right in our world. It's only when those things are called upon that we, you know, have to use, like, we have to use those skills, those gifts to get us through, right? To help us. But when you have a forest fire and everything's burning around you, you're going to question why. You're going to... It's scary. It's painful. It's awful. And you got to understand, guys, something that God does sometimes. He has to remove things from our life that aren't serving us. Maybe it's people. Maybe there's, you know, relationships that we have that aren't serving us, that are not... I mean, Jesus said himself, don't cast your pearls in front of swine. If people cannot see you and love you and accept you for who you are and love you despite everything, you know, everything that you might see as a flaw, that the world might see as a flaw, if you are loved, then it doesn't, you know, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And if you love, okay, and if people do not love you, sorry, just had to, if people do not love you, then it's not a good idea to blame yourself, because that lack of love from them, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And sometimes God might put a little distance between you and that person for a reason, you know, and it's to protect you and keep you from believing lies and enduring unnecessary stress, pain. So that stuff is, and bad habits fall into that too. anything in your life that's destructive or hurts you or hurts others, that's like the underbrush in the forest. You know, that's like all the dead stuff, all the rot and decay and just nasty crap. So the fire, when it blows through the forest, it is taking out all of that underbrush. It is. It burns it all the way to the forest floor. Everything gets burned, right? We've all seen pictures of wildfires, you know, the aftermath, and yeah, you see like, you know, see some trees standing, but otherwise the ground is like completely seared and charred, and you're looking at it, just looking at maybe an aftermath of something in your life, and you're like, what good can come of this? Like, this is terrible. This looks horrible. It feels horrible. Why, God? Why did you allow this? And if we wait, if we just let go and let God, if we just be patient, and if we just be still, we will look around those burned areas and notice something new. We will see growth, right? So in the forest, when the wildfire blows through and burns through all of the underbrush and all of the crap that has built up for years and years, maybe centuries, those seeds that fell from the trees and the plants and flowers from long ago, that fell into the leaves and the sticks and logs and crap at the bottom of the forest, well, all of that's burned away now. So those seeds now, they have access to rain. They have access to sunlight. They can grow. They can finally grow, right? So they grow, and you know what ends up happening is that forest is twice as strong as it was before, because now you have all of this new, powerful, glorious growth. And that forest now is so much healthier and stronger. And so will you be. So will you be. Whether things are going awesome in your life or not, you will be okay. You will. And the answer is always love. Love yourself and love those around you. So with that, guys, I am going to tell you something. For those of you who have listened to the very end, we have something special. So, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Alright, so I told you at the start of the video that I started Wawa's Angels Nursery to spread love. I did, and I continue to strive to reach that goal. And I have created a baby that I will be doing a giveaway with. I made this baby, and here she is. She is, oh, she's sleepy. She's the Jenny of Sleep, and she is a big girl. Let me take off this bib. I think the bib is making it a little harder to see her. Let's see. Okay. There, look at her. Look at the little face. This is so cute. Can you see her okay? She's got the little baby squat. She's got the Amelia on her nose. Can you see her, you guys? And she has her little toesies. You see? And her little curled up hands. So this baby girl is going to go home to one of you lucky blessed people out there. Well, you're all blessed. We are all blessed. But I will choose randomly the winner for this baby. I want her retain all of the love I put into her and give whoever wins her the best peace, the best feelings of comfort and just joy. And that is my goal. That's my passion. That's my dream. So I will say, to enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, be at least 18 years old, and in the comments, I want to know, what is your mission? What is your mission? Alright guys, I am going to leave you with that. Remember, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. God loves you, and you are priceless. You are an incredible soul, and completely unique and valuable. And I wish all of you the best of luck. This baby, whoever wins her, she can come as a boy or a girl. You just let me know. And she'll have a beautiful box opening as well. One of my special Wawa's Angels Nursery box openings. And for those of you who are looking for a reborn baby at a decent price and a beautiful box opening, check out my nursery. The link is in the description. I fixed the link. It was not fixed for a while there. But it should be working just fine if anybody would like to peruse. I've got quite a lot of offerings right now. I am also working on several silicones at this time, as well as the vinyls. So stay tuned for all that. And I do also post several babies for sale from my personal collection as well. So anyhow, good luck guys. I love you so much. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope this message offers healing and love and hope to anyone who watches it. God bless all of you, and I will talk to you later.